Hello, and welcome back to Chunk Style Remix. I'm Bryce, and it's great to have you here. Today we are going to be diving into the far future wargame universe of Battletech. Battletech is over 4 decades old, and even if you're not familiar with the tabletop game, there's a chance that you're familiar with at least the Mech Warrior games, which have also been around since the early 90s, with the first one actually coming out in 1989. For today, we are going to be painting the veritable poster child of the Battletech universe, the Atlas. The Atlas that we are using comes from the Alpha Strike box set, which is a different kind of rule set from classic Battletech. Classic Battletech is, it's hex-based, there is locational damage and everything. Alpha Strike plays a little more quick-paced, there's no location-based damage, the movement is much more akin to something like 40k, other skirmisher games like that, but that's really not important. The Atlas we are painting can be either one of 2 variants, which in-game affects its abilities such as having front and rear-facing weapons. But we aren't here to worry about any of that. What we're here to do is to attempt to paint it and not completely butcher it. So let's just jump right in, and I hope you enjoy. All right, here we have the big boy himself, and we're going to get it primed. And looking at it, we're just going to kind of go for I want to go for a green, like an olive drab kind of green, just a basic color. We're not going with any color schemes in particular. We used a matte white primer from the Army Painter, just one of those rattle cans. And these are the paints we're working with. I honestly don't have a lot of paints. I have all these Speed Paint 2.0 in the back here. I have a very small amount of acrylics, and I have a bunch of washes for some weird reason. I'm not really sure. The only green I have is this green skin, but I'm hoping that after washing it with this military shade, which, that looks olive drab, that maybe it'll darken it enough to kind of make it the green that I want. And we're going to use this starter brush for all the base coating because I actually really like it. And it came with the Fanatic War Paint starter set. And for the details, we have the Army Painter Insane Detail Brush. Basically, immediately I thought to myself, yeah, I probably should have used the larger base coating brush. I'm still in a phase right now where I'm really not sure how much or how little I should be thinning my paints just to get all this base coverage right here, because these mechs in particular have a lot of recesses, and it got to the point where I'm trying not to glob it on, but I don't want to make it too thin, and there's a lot of little tiny crevices that I'm not hitting, and I'm just kind of hoping that the wash will take care of that, because I don't know what I'm doing. Spoiler alert, we will find out later that it did not in fact take care of that. Once we get to the guns, we have an AC-20, some short-range missiles, and some long-range missile launchers. And I didn't really look at any kind of reference for this, so I'm just going to end up painting them black with some gunmetal or like plate mail barrels and everything, just to have them stand out. Immediately found out that, again, this wasn't the right brush for the job, but also thinned the paint way too much. Going over it a few times after it was starting to dry when I was doing the back of it made it so it was a lot more solid of a color, so that turned out all right. So I have the plate mail silver here, and I find that when I start pointing, I can actually see it better in the video, but when I was doing it at the time, it was barely showing up on the white primer. And that could have just been my eyes because I was kind of focused. I was looking through the camera and also looking at it normally. But once I started adding on, again, a few more layers, it started to pick up the silver, and yeah, it worked out all right. For the eyes on the cockpit, I went with this nuclear sunrise that is a speed paint. I used it for a cockpit on the Battlemaster mech that I did for my short, which was just all speed paints. And I really liked the color, but I did it on top of the blue that I painted it. So it didn't show up as nicely. So this time I wanted to use it on an actual white background and see how it looked. Oh God, so much. Oh God, that's so much. Have to even it out on this side. Speed paints definitely pool. And then I decided to kind of go for the capillary effect on the nose, and I just had a decent little droplet on the tip of the brush, and I just dabbed it on there. And this is the military shade that I'm really hoping is going to kind of darken up that green skin. As you can see, I'm moving into the base coating brush and really putting it on there. And yeah, it starts to pool immediately. It definitely does go into the recesses. A lot of this time is spent just kind of pooling it on there and then wiping off the brush and moving it around, moving it to other areas, and just doing that over and over again so nothing is too pooly. And also, oh man, right here, these bubbles. This was an issue that I came across more than once, where I would then wipe off the brush on my paper towel and then just kind of start wiping away all those bubbles. If you have any tips on how to avoid that kind of bubbling on washes and whatnot, please let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. I can take all the help I can get. As you can see, here it is happening again on the back. And now again, I'm trying to go for a little bit of that capillary action where it just dotting this on there and just letting the line work in the models and everything, all the recesses, just kind of pull the paint and go where it needs to go. And so for the medium lasers, I have this Flesh Terrors Red contrast paint because why not? I play a lot of Mech Warrior online, and typically the medium lasers that I can remember on there are green, but I didn't want green on green because I wanted to show up a bit more. So I had my wife pull up the wiki and see if what other colors are medium lasers, and they said ruby and sapphire. And we have some Nuln Oil that we're going to try to darken up some of the gunmetal areas, make them a bit, I don't know, more grimy, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and why not? I have Nuln Oil. I just got that Flesh Terrors contrast paint. I just got this Nuln Oil, so we're going to use it. Is this the appropriate application? Probably not. Do I care? Not really. This is a learning experience. Definitely does the same thing, pools really heavy, and then I gotta wipe off my brush and just kind of wick out that excess, and it works well enough at least. Starting to get a little frustrated, I reckon. Good enough. And here is the finished little guy, and honestly, I got it painted, which is what matters. The shade didn't do exactly, or the wash didn't do exactly what I thought it was going to do, and even looking at it now when it's more dry, even after this video, you know what? It is what it is. Alrighty, and there we have it. So all in all, I am okay with how it turned out. The biggest hurdle I, and I'm sure every other beginner painter suffers from, is beating ourselves up. Painting miniatures, like any hobby, takes time, patience, and practice. It's so easy to see all of the incredible painters on social media, on YouTube, seeing just the absolute insane levels of detail, and just the ability that they have is truly awe-inspiring. And it's easy to see all that and then just to call it quits. You look at yours, you see that it's not looking like that immediately, and you just want to flip a tape. It's one of the reasons why I am doing what I'm doing here, so that you guys can follow along with me as we learn together, experiment, and make mistakes. But the biggest thing when it comes to getting started painting that you can take away from all this, if you take away anything at all, is to just get it painted. You're doing this for you. Never forget that. Next video, we're going to be getting back into some Warhammer 40k, and so I really hope you stick around for that. So thank you again so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, keep on painting, and I'll see you next time.